Hey guys, Tarke and Cat, and I want to just do another little run some click the wrong thing. No, run some more maps and just sort of hang out. SSF updates. I didn't do one yesterday because to be honest, I didn't really play all that much yesterday. Yesterday was sort of like my first day off of the league. So yeah, we're just going through the Atlas still nice and chill, just casually filling in watchstones, getting down conquerors, getting Maven completion. You know, just having a nice relaxed league start. It's been one of the really nice things about not being physically able to stream because of my voice, is I've just been able to like really enjoy playing the game at my own pace without having to feel, you know, like content. I mean, that's how I feel anyway, but it's slightly different when it's offline content rather than online content. So yeah, shout out for all the streamers who feel compelled to stream 50 hours a day, because screw that. Yeah, the build's still performing really well. I haven't made any gear upgrades, I don't believe, since my SSF, like, prioritizing gear update video. And if you haven't seen that, I would highly recommend watching that, especially if you're playing along with this build, but just generally. Basically, I go through every single slot of my character, talking about, like, in what order would I prioritize upgrading things, how I would go about upgrading things, and things to consider when crafting upgrades. Good video, if you ask me. And obviously, watch all of my videos, because all of my videos are excellent. So, yeah, what have I thought about the build now that we're level 90-something and just cruising along? You know, we're sort of in the finishing up yellow watchstones, early reds. That's kind of where we are in terms of Atlas progression, just at least the way that I'm doing my watchstones. It's been pretty smooth sailing. I haven't really had much. I've probably had, what, 15 deaths or something? Maybe a little bit more? 12 deaths over the course of the character, most of which happened probably during the leveling process. I think in the actual, like, mapping side of things, it's probably been maybe 2 deaths. Yeah, I think I had, like, 10 deaths getting through the campaign, mostly just to me being a bit silly. But, yeah, it's been performing pretty well. A lot better than I actually expected it to. I was kind of expecting to hit a hard cap in terms of the non-crit action. I guess my main thing that I'm thinking about now when it comes to the build is, do I stay with this non-crit? Do I lean more into my Seismic trap, or do I lean more into my Exsanguinate? Because there's lots of very good damage over time scaling that I'm choosing not to take, because I'm sort of building this sort of like hybrid of hit and dot-based damage. So I've just been going for generic scaling that scales both halves. And I'm just trying to work out if I want to lean more into one or the other. And that's just something I haven't really decided yet. Another thing I could just do is I could actually replace the Exsanguinate with a Bladeful trap. I don't think I will do that. I think I still prefer the Exsanguinate for a couple of reasons. So this sort of like hybrid scaling thing of hit and dot has worked quite well for me. It also means that I get to benefit from on-kill effects. So I've got % life recovery on kill, which makes the mapping much safer. I definitely want to go for the logbook scaling. Yeah, that alone is worth it. Then I get endurance regeneration as well. I feel like people really sleep on % life gained on kill as a stat. It's one of the best stats just for staying alive while mapping. It's really, really good. Can I get both of those? No, I can't. So let's go for this one.
Gambling with our lives.
I'm kind of gone off the chests. I feel like you just want to always just go for the runic monsters. That's not going to reach that far, is it? No. So let's just grab these. Sort of ranged ourselves out there, haven't we? Okay, guess we're going to there. Oh, okay, that was pretty rough. But yeah, I've been leaning towards just always taking the runic monsters and kind of ignoring the chests. Because the runic monsters are what can drop the logbooks. As far as I'm aware, you can't get logbooks from chests. At least I've never gotten a logbook from a chest. I'm fairly certain. I might have gotten one without paying attention, but I think nearly all my logbooks... No, I'm going to say with uncertainty, I think they can only come from the monsters. So yeah, I've been leaning towards going for more monsters and less chests. which is slightly against what you'd imagine, because most people, at least for me anyway, when I first started doing the mechanic, I was always like, oh, got to get all the chests, and I was kind of ignoring the monsters, and I feel like maybe that was the wrong way to go. And I think that might be why some people are having such a like hit or miss experience in terms of logbooks and just rewards in general from the League mechanic, because they're focusing on the wrong things. And it's always kind of interesting mechanics that do this, because it really rewards proper use, but severely punishes improper use of the League mechanic, because obviously it's balanced around you doing the mechanic correctly. So if you're doing the mechanic correctly, then you're getting good rewards. But if you're doing the mechanic poorly, then you're getting like little to no rewards, which obviously is not ideal if you plan on getting rewarded for doing content, which I imagine most of us like to be. I generally find that as a good thing in Path of Exile. Get rewards, do content. Saying that, like, I've actually found Exhibition pretty rewarding. I got a stack of 3 Exalts the other day. That was pretty good. Obviously, a bit of a high roll, not the usual experience, but I don't know. I feel like every league, people say the league mechanic isn't rewarding. I say it is rewarding. And then people say streamer RNG, so, you know, streamer client forehead. I don't know. What was I talking about before I got distracted? Yeah, so with the build, I'm trying to work out what direction I want to take it in at this point. I reckon I could probably... I think the real test will be when I get to Cirrus. And I look forward to seeing how Cirrus goes on this weird, like, hybrid dot hit thing. I'm pretty confident I could take down just a basic, like, Awakener 4 Cirrus. No worries with this setup. But for the Awakener 8, I feel like, at the very least, that would require some gear upgrades for it to be a comfortable kill. The one thing which is pretty solid about this build when it comes to doing bosses like that is because of the way that Seismic Trap works, and it has that long duration. Ooh, Influence? I want that, definitely. And the Exsanguinate, there's actually very nice synergy in the fact that you can just throw them out and then just ignore them. So you can be very mobile. Well. And 1 left. Cool. So it really works into my play style of... I always like builds where you can just throw the damage out and then be fully mobile. So even going into something spooky like a Awaken 8 Cirrus or a Maven or something, because I can just do so much of my damage, a nice logbook, while on the run, I'm pretty confident in my abilities to get the fight down. It just, you know, would be a longer fight. I haven't given much thought to what builds I would maybe play after this. I've been collecting gear. I've collected quite a few nice elemental damage with attack pieces. One of the builds that I was very keen on trying out this league was Storm Rain, but I think Storm Rain has universally been pretty panned. I'm trying to think of anyone I know who's played it and been like, yeah, Storm Rain was excellent. I've heard lots of... I played Storm Rain, it made my eyes hurt. I've played Storm Rain, the damage was really poor. I played Storm Rain, Lightning Arrow just felt better. So I'm kind of tempted to see if I can make it work. But the visuals of the ability alone kind of means that even if it was a good skill, I probably wouldn't want to play it that much just because ouchie eyeballs. I am quite interested to go back to Explosive Concoction at some point. That's what I league started on, but then ditched in like Act 4. I've heard not great things about that one either, but I feel like that's still pretty unexplored. And with all this like elemental damage with attacks gear that I'm just happening to collect, I was like, well, that's an elemental damage attack thingy. Helix was very strong. I used Helix leveling into Explosive Concoction, but I haven't got much desire to play that at endgame. Just because it's like, I know it's good. It's a good skill. That problem's kind of already solved. part of me is a little bit tempted as well to see how Caustic Arrow is faring. I know that Toxic Rain Ballistas is very popular, and there's some people doing Caustic Arrow plus Toxic Rain Ballistas, and obviously Toxic Rain is always popular. But I haven't seen much talk about just straight up Caustic Arrow, and I'm quite curious to see how Caustic Arrow is performing this league. So that's sort of on my radar as well. So I would be very intrigued to see how that feels. I think one thing which is like a big like shifting point with this patch especially is you kind of, a lot of those builds that could get away with going for pure utility ascendancies, like for example Raider for Caustic Arrow, you know, actually need to play damage ascendancies. And I think that might be why some people are feeling the brunt a little bit more than others, is that they're hey. Huh. Interesting. Very nice. Right, well, let's do the invitation. I guess we'll round up the video there. Oh, thanks, internet people. Still getting that streamer client. The less life really hurts the awakened. Well, just normal minion damage as well. I mean, you could play something which doesn't need life, like Herald of Agony. I don't really want to play Herald of Agony. That's interesting. I haven't heard the best things about Reaper post-change. What would I even do with that? I hope you get what I mean now when I say that you can just kind of like throw out all your seismic traps and just sort of like walk around. It's quite neat. I think I'm just gonna go Breach and Soul Fight. Interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you've got any particular things you'd like me to talk about when it comes to either this character or just SSF in general. And let me know if you've got any neat suggestions for the Awakened Dominion damage support. I'm Tarke. Have a good day. Bye-bye.